Before I get into my plan for 2022, first I'll go over briefly what I accomplished in 2021 and how everything went. Admittedly, 2021 was not a great year for my language learning goals. I was very busy and didn't have as much time as I would like for study. However, I did make progress in most of the languages, and I achieved my goal of completing my 6 credit German college course and even got an A+ grade. Unfortunately, the course was very demanding, so that left a lot less time for other languages. I've previously taken Korean and Chinese in college, but am very rusty. So one of my goals is to get back up to the level I reached in those courses. I'm getting there with Chinese, but with Korean, I'm having a hard time finding course materials I'm really happy with. The textbook I used in college was awful, and I won't be using that again. Now for what worked in 2021. Tracking my activity and using Notion were a big help. It really helps you stay accountable when you know exactly how much you are or aren't studying. Breaking the year up into smaller chunks was also helpful. Life situations change, and you may change your mind, so it's important to stay flexible. And you can only learn so many languages at once, depending on how much time you have. So swapping them out for others at different times of the year helps you gain exposure to more of them. I also made a goal to get as many lifetime subscriptions of language apps as possible and move away from expensive monthly and yearly subscriptions. The cost was really adding up and wasn't sustainable. Studying multiple languages instead of focusing on one definitely worked. Focusing on one language works for some people, but I get bored if I try to do that. Taking a college course was great for accountability, although I'm not a big fan of the classroom instruction method, something I'll get into in another video. For the same reason I like studying multiple languages, I like using multiple resources. And I really got a morale boost from some of my favorite language study channels on YouTube. Now for what didn't work in 2021. It wasn't sustainable time-wise to study all languages an equal amount of time. Prioritizing is best unless you have unlimited time. Strict scheduling didn't work either because life happens, and sometimes I just didn't feel up for studying or felt like studying a different language. I consistently overestimated my available time. Because of that, I felt guilty about not studying enough, and then I'd overdo it and burn out. Expensive monthly and annual subscriptions were a problem, and some of the apps and books I tried just didn't work. Now for the 2022 plan. So we're in a new year, and thankfully, I get a fresh start. The best thing about this year is that I'll have more time. I'll be finishing college and cutting back my work hours. So at least over the summer and after fall semester, I should have a lot more time. And quickly, a disclaimer. I can't guarantee my plans won't change over the course of the year depending on how things go. But these are the goals I'm currently aiming for. Time of day goals. I am not a morning person, and I have the least energy in the morning. So before 10, rather than study, I'm going to use the time to get inspired by my favorite YouTube polyglot channels. Then I'll only study languages more closely related to English in the morning. Harder languages I'll save for midday and evening. I also want to start reducing device screen time before bed to help with sleep. So the perfect way to do that, I thought, was to use an audio tool right before bed. So I'm going to use Pimsleur to study languages that it's hard to find other resources for at that time, since they offer so many languages. I'm not making a set schedule with specific times because that didn't work last year. My highest priority language will be German. This is because I will be taking intermediate and advanced German in college, and these courses will be very demanding of my time and energy. We're using the Sag-Mal textbook. I'll get additional exposure with other apps. Chinese will be my second language for the first third of the year. I took Chinese to the intermediate level in college, but I got very rusty. I'm trying to reach the level I was previously at again. I use the integrated Chinese textbook in school, but prefer Encounters, which is what I'm using now. I plan on learning traditional characters, which the Scritter app is great for, and it has character sets from the Encounters textbook. French, I have also reached intermediate level in studying in high school and college. It's more of a maintenance language, but I'm using apps like Fluent for a review. I also want to read more and watch shows on LingoPie and Canadian TV. I've been wanting to learn Pashto for a long time. Since it's hard to find resources for learning Pashto, this was a perfect language to work on before bed with Pimsleur. I will also work with the beautiful Elementary Pashto textbook from Georgetown University Press and writing practice on the weekend. Korean is a language I want to learn perhaps more than any other, but it has also posed the biggest challenge. I really struggled with it in college where I had a bad teacher and textbook. I've been on the hunt for the past year for good study materials. I have found some, like the Sue and Carrots materials and some Talk to Me in Korean books, but not one good primary source like a major textbook or online course I really liked. Also in the second third of the year, I'll continue German, Chinese, French, and Pashto. During summer break, I'll ease up on German a bit, but keep studying so I feel prepared for the advanced course in the fall. I've been wanting to learn Japanese for a long time. I've learned hiragana and some katakana, but I haven't had time to make it a major focus. Since I'll have my schedule loosen up some in 2022, I think it will be a good time to finally give it another go. But to start off, I'm going to make it a low-pressure experience and take my time. Building a very solid foundation is even more important with difficult languages like this, so I'll be moving slowly. The third of the year will be a time for swapping languages out so I can try some new ones. I'm going to start Swedish when my advanced German course ends. I expect to be satisfied with my level in German at that point and will just read or watch programming from time to maintain it. I'm waiting because I don't want to take any more than 4 languages at once, at least until I'm done with college, and because I don't want to take 2 languages from the Germanic family at once. I would also like to take a break from Pashto at that point and choose another language it is hard to find resources for to study with Pimsleur at night. Icelandic and Finnish are languages I'm interested in that fall into that category. I'll choose one or the other, not both. So I'll be still working on German until my course ends in the fall semester and continue with Chinese and Korean in the third of the year. Other goals I want to be working with as many lifetime subscriptions and textbooks I own as possible to eliminate these expensive monthly charges. A couple of my favorite apps don't offer a lifetime subscription, so it won't be possible to completely eliminate them, but I will do so as much as possible. Second, I don't want to burn out again. So the only real pressure I want to put on myself is to at least do something in at least one language 6 days a week. I also want to keep tracking what I'm doing, and I don't want to ignore my native language because there's always room for improvement. I'm taking advanced composition in college and want to get better at reading at least once a week. There's also some other apps I might use that I haven't mentioned yet: Rosetta Stone, Closed Master, and Transparent Language. I don't enjoy them as much, so I probably won't use them regularly, but I may dabble in them. Now I'll show you my language learning workspace in Notion. I track a lot of different things in Notion, and I'll do a dedicated Notion video later. For now, I'll just show you my language learning pages. I track my study activity, record goals, and keep track of my apps in Notion. You may notice that I didn't have a lot of activity early in February, which is because I was feeling under the weather. If you want to use Notion to organize your language study plans, I have some tips. Track your active apps with any upcoming due dates so you won't forget and get automatically renewed when you didn't expect it. Some of them that aren't working for you, you may want to turn off, or they may just not be in your budget to renew. Keep a log of what you studied and for how long, so you can look back and bask in your accomplishment or notice that you aren't studying as much as you thought. Keep a monthly calendar with a broad overview of what languages you studied on different days. And store your links to useful tools, notes, websites, and goals together on Notion so you have everything in one place. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe for more great language study videos.